Follow us and be the first to know. This is the Comedy Show. The Comedy Show with Comrade Lamte Oriake, live on Facebook and YouTube. Like us, follow us, and be the first to know. This is the Comedy Show. The Comedy Show with Comrade Lamte Oriake, live on Facebook and YouTube. Like us, follow us, and be the first to know.
Yes, my people. A very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, depending exactly on where you are joining us from. This is the Comrade Show, and my name is Comrade Lamte Oriahi. And of course, we've come our way again on Matters Arising to look at some developments in and around the Edo State, and of course, some of the things today that we're going to be, talking about are some things that appear to border our moral sensibilities, as it were. We're going to look at things generally, okay? But there's an aspect of this discourse we're going to be having today that is a bit sensitive, but we cannot avoid talking about it because of the way it is. It is something that, to me, border very much on our own morality as a people, our value system, and I thought that there's no way I'm not going to, talk about it. It's not my style, really. But I'm going to talk about it as constructively as possible. You understand what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we normally have things like this, and they just go. Nothing happens, and all of that, like business as usual. Where I live, things like that don't happen, and they just go like that. You understand what I'm saying? People are accountable for what they do, what they say, particularly when these people are people who are very influential in society, who are heads, as it were, in whatever capacity, and all of that. Society demands that people are a bit more sensitive and responsive. You understand what I'm saying? Particularly when it comes to leadership, as it were. And that is the area where I'm going to be talking about, something that's making a round right now about my brother, Apostle Johnson Suleman, particularly with his some of his utterances in recent time. And we're going to be looking at some of these things. And of course, we're going to be talking about them in the most constructive way. I already see that I have a number of persons online. I want to thank Patience Irabo, my big sister. God bless you for sharing. Please, let's share this broadcast. Let's get some numbers together. Osaro Kings, thank you. I see you. Aigbe Fredison, thank you so very much. Agbamios El Sonny, thank you. Val E. Samson, I thank you. Yes, Ken Gold, I see you. Engineer Mark Echato, thank you very much. Wesley for joining. Please, let's share. As I mentioned your name, share the broadcast. Let's help get some more people together so we can start this discourse. Hopefully, at some point, I'm going to open my lines so we'll talk about it, because holistically, we need to start dealing with things as they come up in our society to make our society a better place for all of us. Apart from that, there are some other matters that are environmental that we're going to be talking about, because at the end of the day, somehow, we talk about how our society must move forward, the things we need to do. There are areas that we tend to ignore, and these areas, they must all work together holistically to give us a better society. Okay, but before I go into all of these, yes, Felix Osadolo, I already see you. Thank you very much for joining. Yes, Ewelera Mark, thank you so very much. Please, let's share the broadcast. Osasoge Samerio, big man, God bless you so very much. Thank you very much for joining. Let's share this broadcast. Omosede Egwavon Odiase, I see you. Thank God best. Prince Ken Usama, thank you so very much. Yes, I do say Matthew Ogbede, good evening to you. Please, let's get some people together. Let's get some persons together more. Ota Tessie, Edoman there, you are somebody. I greet you. Victor Eweka Idubo, thank you so very much for joining. Arubo Nosen Okokoni, thank you. God bless you, man. God bless you. Hello to you too. So, before we go into the discourse of the day, let me just quickly give a preamble. I'm sure that's already settling the dust. In the last few days, we have been inundated with a lot of posts here and there, and everybody saying that the governor of Edo State wants to give Edo land to Fulani Herdsmen and all of that. Some of us did try to come out to try to debunk that rumor, as it were, and of course try to make the matter clearly known to everybody what the governor is doing. Is not giving Edo land to Fulani herdsmen. But I'm glad that in the last 24 hours or so, the SSG of Edo State, that's talking of Barrister Osadio Ogie, has actually come out to clear the air, of course, to assure and reassure Edo people to say Governor Baseke is not giving any land to anybody, to any Fulani herdsman. As a matter of fact, what the government is doing is the government. In fact, the governor has already, made their position very clear over a year ago that Edo State land is not open for Ruga. Okay, and I hope that is enough to, to pacify us, to of course put our mind at some peace that Edo State is not going to work or do anything that contravenes the will of the people. So that's what we're not going to dwell on that. My people, before we start today's discourse, please, I like to play this footage. I may have to play this footage, over and again, because there's more to this than meet the eyes. Okay, and we're going to talk about it, probably not in the way so many people are talking about it, but we're going to talk about it our way, the way we want to talk about it. Please, let's take a listen. This is about Apostle Johnson Suleman.
In COVID, I bought a jet. In COVID. I have three. The third one. In COVID. I was praying for COVID not to end because I was resting. While people were complaining, my wife asked me, say, can life be this sweet? Am I talking to somebody here? No stress. I read on the net, was it yesterday? Somebody sent it to me. There's a rumor going around that I have a machine that prints money. I like that rumor. Say it should be investigated. He has a machine that prints money. I said, somebody says it true. I said it's true. It's risky. I said, I didn't know it's risky. I already bought the machine. When you speak in tongues, you are printing money.
That was Apostle Joseph Suleman. In the last couple of days, this video surfaced. And I'll tell you why. Normally, this is not my style. I try as much as possible not to bring individuals, on this program, to discuss them. I talk about government policies, government officials, our society, and how things affect us. Okay? That's our style. But when I watched this video, I dwelt on it. Okay, so I'm not going to be discussing Apostle Suleman, in any judgmental form. Judgmental in the area of his, religion as a pastor or as an apostle, of Christ. Okay, but I'm going to be discussing it the way I feel. It affects me as a person. It affects a lot of people as well. I'm not going to be looking at whether he's a true man of God or he's not a true man of God. Whatever way, I'm not going to go into that. I'm not the one to judge that. Okay. Now, that is one. The second aspect is that the reason why I'm going to be looking at Apostle Suleman in this particular matter, under this discourse, is because yes, it's true. Apostle Suleman is not a government official, but one thing that is equally very true is that when you talk of leaders in Nigeria, Apostle Suleman is a leader in Nigeria. He's a man whose voice, controls a lot of people. He's a man whose authority to so very many Nigerians across the world. He's a man, whose words are policy. He's a man, one of those people who belong to that class or those group of people that you expect that they help you use their position in society, to shaping our society for the better. I am very concerned about how decadent our society is. I am very concerned about the value system, okay, our society appear to have embraced. I'm very concerned about the state of our youth as a person. I'm very concerned about all of these things. And I believe very strongly that if things must change for the better, it is not going to be based, solely on government policies. It's going to be based too on what some of us do in our private capacities, in the areas we occupy, where we're equally very influential to people. Those are the areas that this matter concerns a lot of us. I am very sure that if the statement made by the excerpt I just played just now was made by any other person who is not really controlling that much, it may not mean too much and all of that. Now, this is one. The second aspect is this. I want to establish some things about our own society. Today, okay, it is no news that our society, has, what's it called, taking a direction, for the worse. Today, a 15-year-old young man or woman who wants to quickly become a millionaire, even when this 15-year-old has some years ahead to even complete his or her education, okay, or learn some trade or do something. You understand what I'm saying now? And all of that. Today, we see young men, okay, without actually any visible address where they work, anything to say, man, this is where their workshop is. But you see them spend a lot of money. Some even come out that the money is too much. They start spraying this money on the streets. We see in some cases, some people go to rivers, go to meet ritualists and all of that. It become our society. The route to that end is not an issue, but that end becomes the matter. That, whatever it does, it doesn't really matter. What matters is the money and all of that. Our society is now driven so much in that direction that to some people, some of our young people who are highly misguided, it is like it's a competition. Everybody wants to do something at all costs to make sure they get the money. So it's about the money, always about the money and all that. So for us, I believe very strongly that one of the things that government should be doing is, redrafting our moral values to make us understand that, look, we have to work hard. We've got to fulfill certain obligations, natural obligations, okay, to become somebody in life. And okay, these things don't just come by magic. They don't just come overnight. You understand what I'm saying now? And all of that. But you equally expect even more from the religious institutions, from the religious bodies, from these people who are leaders of the church, leaders of the mosque, leaders of our various religious institutions as it were. Because today, our society, one of the biggest institutions in our society today is religion. As a matter, it's the biggest. Everybody somehow in Nigerian society is attached to one church or mosque, takes orders, or rather is influenced by one church or mosque. So people tend to want to imitate what their pastor is saying or what their imam is saying and all of that. What some of these people are saying is what has given birth to the terrorism we have today in Nigeria. Boko Haram people, you listen to them, all the terrorists, they all talk about they are serving God. They all talk about, they are killing because of God. They are killing infidels because people have taught them wrongly about Islam. They've given them those wrong doctrines of Islam. And they are using those things right now to affect everybody, to kill our people. You understand what I'm saying now? Every terrorist you see, okay, as they are bombing, they are killing, they are doing whatever they are doing, okay, the next thing you are saying, they say, Allahu Akbar, God is great. Allahu Akbar, God is great. They believe that they are satisfying the will of God. They believe that they are fulfilling, okay, the dictates of God. Now, some of these people, you want to blame them, of course we blame them. But again, where did this thing start from? It started from somebody giving them this doctrine. It started by somebody who probably knows the right thing, but knows that he can use, Islam, use the Quran, okay, aspects of the Quran to bamboozle them to believing that this is the way. And so therefore, even as we speak, our society is so bad today that even as we speak, there are young people, okay, very young people in their 5 years, 6 years, 3 years that are being taught how to shoot, that are being taught the Quran, some aspect of the Quran, that are being taught that anybody who's not a Muslim deserves to die, needs to be killed, and if they kill, they should go to heaven. They are teaching people right now. It is one of the reasons why incessantly we are beginning to have kidnap of young people from their schools. We just had one in Niger State now, okay, that everybody is talking about. It's not an isolated case. All of these problems we're talking about right now is stemming from the religion that we practice. Now that is for Islam. Now we now look at Christianity. Apostle Suleman is a leader of a very big church, one of the biggest church in Nigeria, one of the biggest church right now even in the world, in that he's got a lot of followers, so many membership. People listen to him, people hear him, people want to identify with him, and of course he pick his words. Now, amongst every other thing that has been trailing Apostle Suleman, what Apostle Suleman decided to come up with, I will say with my word mouth now, let's take a listen one more time before we now go into these issues. And I've only tried to establish why I am concerned about this matter. I am not here to judge whether Apostle Suleman is a true man of God. Is not. That's not my business, okay? And whether somebody is true or is not true, God will judge that, okay? But the picture that this person is painting to all of us, that is going to make the work even more difficult for those who want to live upright to do, it will be our concern to talk about. That is the area we're going to go look at some of these things. Please, let's take a listen once again.
In COVID, I bought a jet. In COVID. The third, I have three. The third one. In COVID. I was praying for COVID not to end because I was resting. While people were complaining, my wife asked me, say, can life be this sweet? Am I talking to somebody here? No stress. I read on the net, was it yesterday? Somebody sent it to me. There's a rumor going around that I have a machine that prints money. I like that rumor. Say it should be investigated. He has a machine that prints money. I said, they say, somebody says it's true. I say it's true. It's risky. I said, I didn't know. I didn't know it's risky. I already bought the machine. When you speak in tongues, you are printing money. In COVID, I bought a jet. In COVID.
Okay. Really, I've had a chat, with some persons about this excerpt of this office message, and I won't lie to you guys. I am, whatever he meant, I am truly heartbroken. I'm heartbroken because some of these people, God has enabled them to become authorities in their own rights, and when you stand on the pulpit, watched by millions of people around the world, and you tell these people that some of them they even know you had a private jet, as a matter of fact, that even in this difficulty in COVID-19, you have bought another private jet. Some of us, if I want to talk about buying the third private jet, I had to go to the internet to try to find out how much a private jet costs. This is in multi-millions. They are even in millions in dollars. Not to talk of naira. Okay? Now, as insensitive as that may be to the plight of the people, I looked around. Since the beginning of since more than a month coming or so, more than 1,000 people have been dying in the UK because of COVID-19, coronavirus. In America, it's been in thousands. The world has lost so many people to COVID-19, to coronavirus. Okay, this thing may not have taken too much grip on Nigeria, as it were, but we are having cases of people dying of coronavirus and all of that, and nobody, can say fully, wholeheartedly that they are free from this matter. As a matter of fact, the government of Edo State, I am aware, is intensifying effort to ensure that a lot of awareness is created for Edo people, you understand what I'm saying now, to follow certain guidelines and rules, you understand, to beat COVID-19, so that we do not have a scenario where it becomes a huge problem as it is in the West, in Europe and in America, and in some other parts of the world. And all effort is being made in that direction. As a matter of fact, some organizations, like for instance, I can tell you about Edo Dynasty. Edo Dynasty had been to Benin City. They were there for yesterday and all of that for some days now, enlightening people. Edo Dynasty have been preaching about COVID-19 and the need for people to observe the rules to ensure that these things don't become a problem to our society and all of that. So even private individuals have been making effort, giving out face mask by way of trying to contribute to this. In the midst of all of this, what we did here that is making the round right now is Apostle Suleman declaring that he prayed. He was praying for COVID-19 not to come to an end because he was making money. In COVID-19, he had made so much money that he just bought his private jet, a third one. In COVID-19, you know, as bad as the situation is, while everybody's lamenting, people are dying of the ailment, people are losing their means of livelihood. There are people who, since the beginning of the lockdown, they have lost their jobs. Now, you are telling these people, you are telling them, okay, that you are insensitive to their plight, okay, and you are telling them that your wife is even telling you that, oh, she never understood that life can be this sweet. That is how much money you have made, how much benefit you have benefited in the era of COVID-19. My brother Apostle Suleman, I think that since I came to know you, Apostle Suleman, not like one-on-one, but since I came to know you in the global space as a pastor from Nigeria, okay, this is the most, debased, the most insensitive, the most inhuman except I have ever heard from you as a person. And I condemn it in totality, and I think that the right thing to do, because you must feel the pulse of Nigerians all over the world on this matter. Because Nigerians are going to talk about this matter. We are talking about it right now. More people will talk about it. There's no doubt about it. And I think that the right thing for Suleman to do, if he's a true leader, is to come out and apologize to Nigerians and apologize to the world what he had done. And I tell you the truth, if Apostle Suleman was to be a British or an American, with this statement he had made, I am sure that the media space of this world will get hold of this matter, that if care is not taken, his career will even be in jeopardy. Because this is important. It is only in Nigeria and places like Nigeria where people are not accountable. People don't look at the position they hold to weigh what comes out of their mouth. The Benin man says, everybody's got some stupid and silly things they can say at any time. But people look at themselves, okay? They weigh the position they occupy in society, okay, to equally determine what comes out of their mouth. For people like Apostle Suleman, who are leaders of the church, who are leaders of huge congregations, as it were, who are leaders and influencers of people, you understand what I'm saying now? Statements like this, okay, apart from being insensitive to the people, it sends very wrong message about Christianity. Because at the end of the day, when I look at a cross-section of those who are members of the Pastor Suleman's church and the suffering that is gripping a lot of them, okay, and all of that, all across the world, you understand what I'm saying now? This kind of message, I wonder whether it is the kind of message that Jesus Christ, the example, actually wants us to start to be talking about. Because if you are given a position as a man of God, you understand what I'm saying now? I think the Bible expects you to be a builder of people. This self-glorifying nature that has become of many of our pastors, you understand what I'm saying now? For us, it is disheartening. For us, it is unacceptable. It's unacceptable because if you cannot truly be somebody, okay, whose message will be that of building the nation, that of building the state, you understand what I'm saying now? Then why are you there? Why are you there? I find it personally very offensive. Many Edo people and Nigerians find it highly offensive. Yesterday, this early hours of this morning, yesterday, I did a pidgin English, what's it called, a news broadcast, my Tafia news, on a news beat. And I said, I congratulate Apostle Suleman. Because there was no milder way I could put it, okay? But to just be sarcastic about it. But even when, after looking at my own sarcasm of the situation in the news beat, I told myself, before I came out to talk about this matter, I said, I had to wait. You understand what I'm saying? Now, is this really what I want to talk about? You understand? That's why I am not talking about it in the light of judging whether Suleman is a true man of God or is not a true man of God. Now, I want to go into an in-depth analysis of this matter. I may be wrong in my analysis. I may be wrong. But, you know, anybody who brings an art reading, a faggot into the house directly invites the lizard to dinner. Apostle Suleman has voiced out something that I consider highly insensitive, that Edo people and many Nigerians across the world consider highly insensitive. Okay, you should expect people to perch on these things, analyze them the way they feel, whether they are right or they are wrong. I was having a chat with somebody earlier today, and I told the person, I have listened again and again and again and again, and I was trying to know the motivation behind this, you know, this self-conceit, I would call it, this self-aggrandizement. I tried to look at the motivation behind it. And one of the things I told myself was that I do not think that Apostle Suleman was actually talking to the members of the congregation he was addressing. The message he gave, in my perception, is to some people. To some people. He's trying to show off to some fellow pastors, to tell them that he's got his own third private jet. He's probably chasing, what's his name? The other one, is it Oluka they call it? The one of winners, who they say has 4 or 5 or 6, I don't know. Now, the ministry they hold, okay, the church they lead, is now becoming very competitive. So when I look at it, I said the pride with which this man is expressing himself, this message is not to this congregation. He's talking to somebody who's not a member of this congregation to say, either I am coming to meet you with your own level of private where you don't get, or he's talking to somebody who never gets. Say, you see there, the Suleman, I have 3 already that I've paid for, and I even bought my 3rd one in this COVID-19. I'm trying to read in between the lines. I want you guys to watch this thing again. Probably you start seeing this thing from as I said earlier, I may have cause to play this thing a few more times. I want you to listen. Don't listen to the words he's saying. Listen to the things he's not saying. Then you will follow me better. Take a listen, please.
The third, I have 3. The third one, in COVID, I was praying for COVID not to end because I was resting. While people were complaining, my wife asked me, say, can life be this sweet? Am I talking to somebody here? No stress. I read on the net, was it yesterday? Somebody sent it to me. There's a rumor going around that I have a machine that prints money. I like that rumor. Say it should be investigated. He has a machine that prints money. I said, they say, somebody says, is it true? I said, it's true. It's risky. I said, I didn't know it's risky. I already bought the machine. When you speak in tongues, you are printing money.
Now, when you listen to this, all you see about it is not about how to encourage people to be hardworking. It's not about how to tell people about them and some of the things they need to do. It's all about self-aggrandizement, okay? And usually, when people, you know, do things like this, okay, this kind of self-aggrandizement, this is directed to somebody. My wife asked me, can life be this sweet? No stress. Apostle Suleman, we are not interested whether you are stressed or you are not stressed. It's not important. But by the position you hold, you owe a duty and a responsibility to people. The people don't want to hear whether you are stressed or you are not stressed. The people want to know. You know, they want to know those things that you need to tell them. To be good ambassadors of where they come from. To be good husbands and to be good wives. To be hard-working people who don't have to depend on anybody. To go out there and struggle to make ends meet. To contribute meaningfully to the development of state. To ensure that they use their life as a big example for the kind of life that we have right now. To be ambassadors of God on earth. To practically make that move. To say, let us come together. What can we do to make impact as a church, as a people? I have not yet heard that as big as Apostle Suleman I have not yet heard that there's a company, a shoe factory, an agricultural company that can employ everybody. And even if it's just for only his members, to say these are 100 acres of land that we have acquired. We are not building church. We are starting a cassava plantation. We are starting a palm oil plantation. We are starting this for just only our members to be working, to give opportunity for those who don't have. Because if it is true, we don't have any resident address to say this is where Apostle Suleman's company is, where he's getting his money to buy 3 private jets. As a matter of fact, the person had a chat, he told me, he said, he's not even sure whether this money is even coming from the church. And that brings me to the point where he said there's a rumor saying that he's printing money. So, again, it brings us to one point. Is this message about the rumor? Is Apostle Suleman actually doing something illegitimate? And he wants to use this message as a cover-up so that nobody will look at him. Is it that Apostle Suleman actually has a skeleton in his cupboard that the authorities of state need to pick an eye into and begin to investigate him proper? Not to look at this message that can be a distraction, so it should not be looked at. To not probably be looked at. Could that be the case? I bought a private jet in COVID. People are there's a rumor to say that I have a machine I'm using to print money. Could you just be out there to make it look like this is what they are saying? But that actually exists. But I want to placate and look at, let them be saying, so that I will not be investigated in his own heart of heart. Could that be the case? Whichever way it's going to be, I think that Suleman, for his insensitivity to the number of Nigerians that have died of COVID-19 across the world, for his insensitivity to the way COVID-19 has brought the entire country to its knees in this time, for his insensitivity about the effort of government all across board, whether they are doing it well, they are not doing it well, okay, but it's impacting on the people most negatively. I think that Suleman needs to apologize. One, to the people for being insensitive to the dangers and the worries and the disaster being created by COVID-19. Who's interested? If you've got 3 private jets, how does that put food on my own table? How does that, provide employment for your own church members who are unemployed? You come out, you brag too much. I give this one money, I give that money. Even your Bible tells you. He said, don't give them fish, teach them how to fish. For a man you give fish, before long the fish go finish. But we are not looking at all of that. But I think that this is the height of insensitivity. And here's Apostle Suleman, who has had controversies upon controversies here and there. I don't want to go into all those ones because I cannot be a judge. I don't know any of them. As a matter of fact, I came at that time. The other guy they call, whether Davis or whatever, that is trying to dragging Suleman up and down because of accusing Suleman of sleeping with his wife and breaking his home and all of that. I didn't pick interest in that story because when it was good, we didn't know this Davis. You didn't come to tell us. So there are people who usually do things like that. You understand what I'm saying now? When it's bad, they want to make sure they spoil everything. And all that. I don't like people like that, as a matter of fact. So because of that, I didn't pick interest in that. And I didn't see how that their matter, as it were, affects the rest of us. But the statement made in these guys by Suleman, right now that we're talking about right now, affects me directly and indirectly. And it should affect you who is listening right now. Because what this statement does is that it further creates that sense of competition in the mind of our young people. Apostle Suleman don't buy 3 jets. Some are even aspiring pastors. What they want to do now, they want to become pastors to make money at all costs. They want to go to whatever length to make money. That is what that kind of message says to the people. And that is not helping the society. Because some of these children who are going out there to do rituals, we see their story, we hear their story. They are killing their mothers and their brothers and their loved ones for these sacrifices. We don't know Even all of you now, when they listen to baby pastor on a day, the kind of society you people are, whether if there's any, but there are accusations that you guys belong to this and that. We are not interested. Whatever anybody is, so long as you have won a toga to say you are representing God, you are a God's servant on earth, you have been called like you people mostly claim, and all of that, your words must reflect that office. Your words, what cometh out of you, must reflect that office. Even Jesus Christ said in his word, he said, it is not what goeth into a man that defileth the man, but what cometh out of the man. In what way has the words of Apostle Suleman in this video right now edify the people? Whether they are Christians or they are not Christians. In what way? In what way has the statement, become a nation-building statement? A statement that will challenge the people to be positive. If you watch the video, there was one man, when he heard the last one, when he talked, the man, in fact, in his eye, in his surprise, in his whatever, that's why he folded his hand. And I was reading the mind of that man. Please watch. Because I will play this matter severally. Mona, watch again. I try to take note of everything. Go reach the microphone when you hold. The feeling of that microphone when this man was making all these statements. Just take a listen, please. COVID. Watch again. Watch that particular man.
In COVID. The third, I have three. The third one. In COVID. I was praying for COVID not to end because I was resting. While people were complaining, my wife asked me, say, can life be this sweet? Am I talking to somebody here? No stress. I read on the net, was it yesterday? Somebody sent it to me. There's a rumor going around that I have a machine that prints money. I like that rumor.
Watch the man. See him. He did trip.
Say it should be investigated. He has a machine that prints money. I said, they say, somebody says, is it true? I said, it's true. It's risky. I said, I didn't know it's risky. I already bought the machine. When you speak in tongues, you are printing money.
When you are preaching, when you are praying in tongues, you are printing money. These are very misguided statements. These are very misguided. You don't get how anybody want to defend them. These are not the kind of things. They are not the kind of messages as a society that we need. This is the truth. These are not the kind of things, because oh shit. Edo State is in total darkness. While we are holding government accountable and responsible for all the menace in the state, there's a lot that private individuals, that religious leaders can do to make our state a better place. These people are buying private jets. From the comedy show, we are doing our bit to rally Nigerians, to put light in Edo State, to light up Edo State. I've even called on this person and said, we want to call on Apostle Suleman. Let him help us light up Auchi. Let it be a contribution that people will feel. But the kind of stories we get time and time again from Apostle Suleman, I mean, sarcastically, I took a picture with my wife, I put it on Facebook, and I said, that time when you just bought your 5th private jet and missed COVID-19 pandemic, sarcastically, I put it there. Thank God. People started writing comments. And somebody joked with me and said, comrade, you are looking for trouble. In his statement, he said, comrade, you are looking for trouble. I'm talking of one of my brothers at Enauro. He said, do you want to vanish from that UK you are and find yourself in America? Sarcastically, he was referring to another statement credited to Suleman of somebody who left, whether Germany or whatever, and appeared in France. I'm not saying that is lie or true. It's not my place to make that judgment. But even when I watched the circumstance of that particular message, may for crying out loud, our society is decadent. Armed robbery, what's it called? Ritual killing, abduction and kidnapping. Too many vices in our society. The same society where we have these vices, more than 90% of them, they are religious. They go to church or mosque. More than 90%. And yet, the society is worse for it. So if we have over 90% of our people going to either church or mosque, and yet we are like this, it therefore means that those in the church who say they are church leaders, they are not doing their job. They are not. So it is a case of having people who just go to church to fulfill the righteousness and responsibility or whatever it is, to go and show their clothes they have worn to their neighbors in church, and they come out, they are just as bad as they went to the church. Because some of them are going to come out to go and involve in armed robbery. They are going to come out to go and do kidnapping. They are going to come out to go and do all sorts of nonsense. At the end of the day, in some other instances, what you hear from these churches is pay your tithes, pay this, pay that, pay money, bring offering, bring seed. That your seed will become the. That is what you hear. And these are all lies. They are all lies. They are all lies from the pit of hell. Lies from the pit of hell. The 5 richest people in this world, none of them is religious. They don't go any church. They don't go any mosque. The 5 richest people in this world today, they don't belong to any religious group. There's a theory for wealth. Even Apostle Paul, a child of God, a Christian, he said, if you don't work, don't expect to eat. There's a theory for wealth. Wealth has its principles. It does not mean whether you are sowing seed or you are not sowing seed. There are principles which people follow. Most of these guys who are rich are hard-working people. They don't sleep. They work hard. They are creative. Obama says when imagination is joined to common purpose, a lot can happen. They join their imagination to common purpose. They look at the man who owns Amazon, who's right now about the richest man in the world. Look at him. He doesn't produce anything, but he brought his brain to work. Look at the owner of Microsoft software that is now branching into even vaccine manufacturing, into pharmaceuticals, into this, into that. They don't go to church. They don't preach anything. So don't tell anybody, if you sow this seed, you do that, you do that. At the end of the day, people just go about looking for money to sow seed without believing in what hard work can bring about. We just wait for that miracle that will just bring money. We just wait for that miracle that will just bring money. And the only reason why society is like that is because this is what religious leaders feed our people with. We think very strongly that it is time for these things to change. It is time for them to change. On the flip side, a lot of them are getting embarrassed. Secrets they do are becoming exposed. They bury people under church, use people for sacrifice, do this. At the end of the day, you look at an array of these human beings who have done different kinds of sacrifice because they want to make their church grow. You look at them. You then look at the others that are not yet exposed. You tell yourself, if these things can come out from the mouth of people like Suleman, it is easy for people to just say, these ones are not true men of God. It's easy for people to come to that conclusion. I am not a judge. I don't have that capacity to make the judgment. But even the Bible says, by their fruit we shall know them. And Jesus Christ has specifically said, he said, it will be easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God. By every standard, Apostle Suleman is a rich man. And from his messages we are now seeing recently, he's concerned about his wealth and the increase of his wealth. It's not the first time we are seeing things like this, but this one is most insensitive to the effort the whole world is making about this COVID-19. You are not the richest man in the world. There are people who sell the private jets. They are not boasting over anybody's life or anybody's predicament. COVID-19 is a predicament, a huge one. To come out and brag, you just bought your 3rd private jet. Only God knows who that message is actually going to. And your wife has said, can life be this sweet? And you brought in a disconnection just to try to cover something like I'm feeling. I stand to be corrected. That people are even saying that you are printing money. Are you printing money? illegally, Apostle Suleman. And you don't want us to think like that, so you just brought that statement, a disconnected statement. Are you really printing money? Is that what all this is about? Is there something illegal you are doing? And you don't want people to, you want to talk about this so that people can easily forget. Are you under investigation of a sort? But whichever way it is, my brother Suleman, I'll tell you the truth. I don't envy you. I don't. I'm sure nobody does. If there are people who do, probably there are those in your class. Some of us, if we get blessed with private jets, you will know that it is because we have worked hard. You know that, okay, we probably have worked hard enough to earn it. We are earning it because we desire it. Because you can actually earn it and don't need it. It is only in this same Nigeria. Materialism is the only measurement we have for success. Your material endowment is the only measurement of success in that our country. These are value systems that needs to change. I remember back when I was in Spain, some pastor came around and was trying to see vision for one young man who just came from I think that guy came from Brazil. I can't remember. It's a long time ago. This is more than 15 years ago. And the pastor was telling him, say, man, I see my vision that you are going to buy a new car. And the man right in front of where everybody we were only in that church at the time. And the pastor, I don't need a new car. I had 4 cars. I've sold all of them. I don't need cars anymore. I just bought a bike that I'm using. Because car was not the man's. It was not a value to him to measure whether he's successful or not. But the pastor wanted to show that he's buying a car. He showed that he's successful. And the man said, man, I don't need a car. I have a bike. I had 4 cars. I sold them. I don't need them anymore. I don't want to even buy a car. And the pastor was surprised. Because in Nigeria, if you are told by a pastor that you want to buy a car, oh, now blessing then they come. In some societies, car is just a necessity that we need. It's just a necessity. I talk to you, you are telling me, oh, you just bought a new car. You just did that. I remember back when I was in Spain, when I bought my first car, then they came to me, comrade, you have not come to dedicate your car. You just call your park car, you just enter church. You don't even dedicate your car. The pastor came to me. Some ushers came to me. Then I told them, I said, this trouser I'm wearing, it's a new trouser. I just bought it. It's the first time I'm wearing the trouser. Why are you not telling me to come and dedicate the trouser? Why must I go and dedicate the car? And the guy was looking at me. So the car is a new car. Yes, it's true. But I call it have a new trouser. Why are you not asking me to come and dedicate the trouser? Because I don't believe in those kind of things. I don't do it. I never did it. Oh, I want to dedicate this. I want to dedicate that. You just bought a new toothbrush. Why did you go and dedicate it? The same way you used to buy the toothbrush is the same way you equally bought your new car if you bought a new car or a new bike or whatever it is. The same way. So don't tell me to come to church because I've just bought a car. I must come to the church and dedicate it. But that has become our own culture, our own nature. And we appear not to see beyond this. These are not the kind of things that we need to be doing. Our society must transform. It's not on the account of government. There's a lot we as the ordinary people must do to make our society change. Our moral values is, in fact, is debased. The decadence in our society starts from our value system. And these messages contribute to the backwardness in our value system. Everything is not about money. It's not. It is good, yes, of course, for someone to have money. To be, I don't wear Ameya or OFA. That's the kind of life I live. Personally. I must not chase after, oh man, oh my God. And that is exactly what our society is right now. Everybody is chasing after this and that and that. People are risking their lives unnecessarily. And most of this are happening because people like Suleman, they are not telling the congregation the truth. They are not telling the world the truth. When I look at the Bible and I look at what people practice right now, I feel sad because a lot of what we practice right now is a is a huge departure from what the Bible says. I remember the days of the early church in the time of Ananias and Sapphira. The Bible described how they lived. It was a communal existence. The church was responsible for how people live. You have yam, you bring your yam. The other one business is plantain. Who doesn't have yam can take plantain. Who doesn't have plantain can take this. It was quantified in food like that. But in these days, what we probably expected from the expansion of the church is that, oh, let us reason together. We have this money in our coffers. Can we build a factory like this? Let us go to Nifo. Let us go to Ekiadolo, where we have a cocoa plantation. Let us go and invest in cocoa plantation. From cocoa plantation, we can even build a company where we are manufacturing things like Bonvita and all those kinds of things, and invest in it. Even if it's only our members that will be working there. We'll create employment. We feed the people. It will be glorious. It is the church that is doing this. Others will imitate. Those who cannot do cocoa plantation can actually go and do cassava this thing and start providing garden for everybody with the resources they are getting. And everybody will be happy that the offering I'm paying, the tax I am paying, the seed I'm sowing, it is going into this plantation, into this factory to further give employment to all of us. And even as workers in the farm, you may even do it even as workers in the factory that the church has made. You may even do it, okay, your salary is 1,000 naira, but because you must pay tithe, we will be taking 100 naira for your tithe to make us even expand more. These are initiatives that the church can come up with. And I am sure that the money of one private jet can actually set the ball rolling for some of these things. Today is becoming competitive. Everybody's money is having a private jet. In what way are you helping to build Nigeria? Every day Buhari is receiving insults. Every day, or every day the governors are receiving insults. You guys don't even come out to even speak the truth to some of these people. What you are doing is wrong. But you are so proud and glad that you are paying a visit to the president because you were from there. You want to be influential. You want to get your own Ghana must go. Why are we self-serving? Why? Can't we just be sacrificial? Can't we just make some sacrifice to just, even if it's just for the people that we lead, to set the example? And for every good sacrifice we make, somebody's going to be baptized into that sacrifice. Somebody's going to go away believing that he himself can do something that can be sacrificial to make people, society benefit better. So, Apostle Suleman, will you give me this? Please pardon me, I'm playing this for the last time before I move on.
COVID, I bought a jet. In COVID, I have three. The third one, in COVID, I was praying for COVID not to end because I was resting. While people were complaining, my wife asked me, say, can life be this sweet? Am I talking to somebody here? No stress. I read on the net, was it yesterday? Somebody sent it to me. There's a rumor going around that I have a machine that prints money. I like that rumor. Say it should be investigated. He has a machine that prints money. I said, they say, somebody says, is it true? I said, it's true. It's risky. I said, I didn't know it's risky. I already bought the machine. When you speak in tongues, you are printing money.
On Facebook, one person is writing, he's making a comment to say, you people are jealous, he will soon buy the fourth one. And I don't blame this person. Ordinarily, I won't even insult him or her. I won't insult her. Her name is Helen. I won't insult her. Ordinarily, you don't expect anything different from a lot of them. If you look at this kind of people right now, they live in abject poverty. Some of us don't understand that sometimes what is OTT to one person may actually be nonsense to another person. And that is the truth. You know, everybody's talking about this. It's not because they are jealous. It's because, like me, I am concerned that this guy is not helping to build a better society for us. This guy, the self-aggrandizement is just nonsensical, to be very honest. And I think that is bullshit. For the position of privilege that God has given to you, you know, or that nature has bestowed on you, you know, let your words reflect the position you hold. Let it reflect the position you hold. Everybody coming out like, well, I don't need a private jet. If I'm offered one, I will sell it and use the money for something better. I don't even have the money to buy a private jet. If I had the money, private jet is not going to be my option. I am sure that if I had that much, Edo State will feel my impact in an unimaginable way. Believe me. If I had that much, Edo State will feel my impact in an unimaginable way. And that will be my own private jet. My contribution to human development will be my satisfaction. My own private jet. Not this material, this thing. It's not. So my friend, whether Helen or whatever, I am not jealous. We won't be. We are not even on the same this thing. I am telling you that the value system of the kind of people like Apostle Suleman, based on the country, he says, this is a man who said somebody bought him a 180 million naira wristwatch. Everything, I give money to this, I give this. Not just him. It's just me. That's why they told me. Yeah, there's someone that's like that. It's just about money. In what way are you building society? Why are you not telling us that, oh, you have, look man, unemployment rate in Nigeria amongst the young people is more than 70%. That is poverty of the highest level. And the Helen was talking, making that statement just now, you are a very poor person, there's no doubt about it. You are a very poor person, there's no doubt about it. I don't feed from Apostle Suleman's table. I am highly self-sufficient. As a matter of fact, on a weekly basis, my own earning is going into service to humanity in Edo State. There's a percentage of what I earn on a weekly basis that is sent to Nigeria to provide service. I don't have to talk about it. But I'm fulfilled, I'm satisfied. I am equally thankful to my light angels for making the Edo State Lighting project go on. I am not a religious leader. I am not in government. And what I am doing as a person is not even because of the light, that there must be light, but it's because of the need for the narrative to change. For us to understand that there are some small things around us that we can do for society's benefits. So don't come here and tell me that we are jealous. Even if it buys 100 or 1 million private jet, how does that impact me positively? How does it impact you who is making this rubbish nonsense talk? Hello? Hello, good afternoon, sir. I can hear you. Go ahead, sir. Please, can you remove your phone from speakers, please? Okay, go ahead, sir, because I can feel some echo around it. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm just listening to you for 2 minutes now, so I'll be following you. Let's just start this past year during the Edo State government election time, which someone appreciates your work. But like this topic you are in today, can you hear me, sir?
Your voice is really, maybe you need to end this call and call back. Your voice is really low and it's echoing.
Hear me now?
Okay, maybe better. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. So like I said before, I said I'll be following your messages for some time now, since last year, since during the election in Edo State, which I appreciate your work so far. So like this message you are in today, this evening, I will not say is bad, but the concentration is, I would say, for your kind of person, for your maturity, this shouldn't be your message at all. It should be on our Edo State, since you have been following, giving us the update and all that. Forget about this aspect. A lot of people have spoken about this for some days now. It has nothing to happen to any of us at all. It has nothing. Let's focus on the Edo State issue, like you have been doing. Let's see how the governor can be able to transform the state, especially for those that are from the Edo State there. This issue of pastor, this, that, it has nothing. If you talk from that to tomorrow, is going to change nothing. Nothing. So your focus on your own personal work. Don't avert. Focus on your own work, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. The point is noted, sir. Thank you very much. I'll take note of the point. Unfortunately, I disagree with this brother. He has said that I should focus on other things apart from this, and that this one has nothing to do. It's unfortunately we cannot. I cannot agree with him, and the reason is very clear. Though development and Nigerian development is going to be holistic, it's not going to be on one part alone. So we must talk about it. Though where Amaka Moria it's on that premise I will talk about it. Because at the end of the day, I tell you the truth. If these pastors, if many of them are well guided to lead their own people right, I am very sure that the state will have very, very, very few to do, very little to do to make everything better for everybody. So for someone to say, "Oh, no, this is how." This is the kind of impression, the way, the mentality they've created in all of us, that the church is no go area. Don't talk about the church. Don't criticize the church. Don't do this, don't do that. And yet, the height of societal decadence is inside the church. The very foundation of a bad society is inside the kind of church. We are the most religious nation in the world, and yet we are the most backward nation. We are the poorest nation in the world, and we are the most religious. Can you marry these two? It's just something is amiss. Something is not right somewhere. Hello. I greet you, sir. Good evening, sir.
How are you doing, sir?
Not too bad. How are you doing yourself?
Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you. Speak louder. We can hear you. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. I want to disagree with the person that just called now and agree to what you've been saying. What the person is saying is very wrong. You cannot see the truth and bend it. What he said was very wrong. How can you be praying that COVID-19 should not stop? Did you know the damage COVID-19 has caused all over the world? That you are celebrating wealth. Did you know the time of Jesus Christ, there were people using chariots, there were rich men in the time of Jesus? Why did Jesus Christ say it is easier for the head of a camel to go through the eyes of a needle for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God? What these people are teaching, they are the one giving Christianity problem. That is why you see people going into ritual. He said you should concentrate on Edo State, how Edo State should move forward. How can Edo State move forward when the youth are going into different evil vices? They are getting the teaching from people they are looking up to as role model. So it is very wrong of what they are doing. They are not role model to anybody. They are giving the people or feeding the people wrong information, a wrong doctrine, which the Bible did not stand for, even what Christ did not say. So my brother, you are on the wrong, right track. Let nobody pull you down and let nobody pull you. Forget about the writing the write-up they are putting on there. They are just trying to shield you from there. These people are causing more harm than good. They should teach the youth how to walk. There is reward in walking. But what they are preaching now, it is not salvation. They are preaching wealth. Thank you very much.
God bless, bro. I appreciate your call. I think I mean this is for me. It's I stand with this last caller, and there is no way. The reason why I'm talking is because whether I like it or not, there are a few persons too who listens to me, who follow my channel, who wants to hear me say something. So I, as careful as I try to be, and particularly if this man had not said he was praying for COVID not to end, man, probably I would have just, okay, one of those there matters, okay, no wahala. But man, that is the heart of his sensitivity. That is the heart of it, my brother. You are telling me that for these people who are dying, sick, this and that, for you were enjoying. Your wife even said, can life be this sweet? You even pray that COVID should not end. No matter whatever you mean, your insinuation, you know, the context with which that matter came is unacceptable. And I think, and I maintain, that Suleman needs to apologize to all of us. To all of us. I am hurt by the statement. I believe many people are hurt by it. He should apologize to all of us. This is very important. If he does it, it's his business. But I will make my statement very clear. I have not come out here to stand to say whether Suleman is a real man of God or not. Even real men of God make mistakes, but black people should be able to identify where they make mistakes and own up to their mistakes. And I think that this is one of such areas where I expect someone like Suleman to own up to his own mistake, for coming out to come and make this kind of a statement, So I'm not going to dwell too much on this beyond what I have done already, but I want to say that for everybody who's thinking about this, that mentality of not do this, not good, that forget about that mentality. The fact that I don't bring preachers to this thing to come and talk about them, it doesn't mean I don't know. As we don't see. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? We see. We know a lot of things better than a lot of people think. Let me take this call. Hello. Hello. Please just speak to us. You have 90 seconds, sir.
Okay, thank you. My name is Brother Samuel, calling from Luxembourg.
God bless you, sir.
Please, I want to clear certain issues that are very important for every listener right now, because our moral discipline, first of all, as a Christian, comes from the leaders of the church. Yeah. And the biggest problem we're having in Nigeria, or especially in those states right now, are the spiritual leaders who are not able to speak to the people because they themselves are corrupt. They are not having a message of hope for the people, and the people are confused. When there was trouble in our family or trouble in people's Christian family, they go to the church. But right now, the church is not a place you can go to get a moral advice that can bring your life back to the normal place. So they are all after money. So when you hear Suleman talking, he's talking about money. And you can't do that if you cannot preach the same gospel in Europe, in America, that you are preaching in Nigeria. It's not the gospel. So that is just what I want you to understand. That what you are doing, my brother, you are doing the right thing. And we have to speak to them. We have to address every aspect we know that is causing problem in those states. It has to be addressed. No one should be left out.
Thank you, sir.
So that is just my small contribution, sir.
God bless you, sir.
Thank you.
I appreciate you, sir. Anyway, I've given my message. I am glad I've talked about this. Let me just take this last caller and move on to something else. Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. You have 60 seconds.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. So I just want to contribute a little to this topic. Like you can see, what you are saying, you are really doing your best to educate our people. And I know this thing has been placed on them. It is becoming a sacred word that they don't even want to talk about it. But thank you for your effort to clear it on air. Because this generation we see today, these ritualists and the kind of youth they have grown with, these ways of miracle, not walk without they don't teach them how to walk to success. They only tell them to just sow seed and they get success. This is generation we have there in Nigeria. Like you can see the problem we have now, the bandits we are complaining about, these are the people that are cow rearer. And we in the Southerners, we cannot live without this cow. But how many Christians or how many Nigerians that are in the South today that want to bring their children up to be cattle rearer, or to think like they have something to contribute to that country, to work and make sure they pay tax and to reform a country? Like we in diaspora, we all have different things, different feet that we engage ourselves, and which was not part of our dream before we left our various countries. But we are doing everything to make sure at the end of the month that will make our days. Yeah. So the generation they've raised are the results we are seeing in Nigeria. Children of below 18, 16, they are into ritual just because the pastor told them that there is no work. God will favor you, God will favor. And they are all using their parents and people around them just to make sure they get rich to go and please the pastor. So I'm really sorry that people don't want to talk about it and people don't want to listen to it, but just continue doing your good work. And I believe the human spirit you have will really change a lot, that have ears that are willing to listen.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So, people, I want to quickly correct this impression. I'm I am in my right to talk about every subject that I think we bring. I'm not talking about this subject because I want to contribute to bringing Suleman down. I think that I'm talking about this subject because I believe there's the need for us to holistically change the direction and let everybody understand that we all have our roles to play. Suleman has got, every religious leader has got a role to play to making Edo State and Nigeria a better place for all of us. And so if you don't play that your role on that pulpit and you are saying nonsense, okay, something that will not make the nation grow, that will not be of benefit and of growth to the people you are even leading, of course, it will come to our radar. We will talk about it. Without apologies, we'll talk about it. So I think the statement made by Suleman, you know, in whatever context it was, okay, was inappropriate, and it is in no way in tandem with what ought to be as far as society is concerned. Let me tell you this last caller, then I'll move on to a different subject matter. Hello.
Hello, my brother. Hello.
I greet you, sir.
Hello.
God bless you, sir.
Yes. Hello. Yeah. Hello.
I can hear you, sir. Go ahead, sir. But you are echoing.
Okay. Just quick one. You see, first and foremost, thank you, my brother. The thing is, whoever that says this thing doesn't concern you, it concerns you a lot. It concerns everyone. It's the main issue right now. Only that people doesn't observe it. Our main problem in Nigeria now, mostly in our state and environment, is these pastors, whatever they call themselves. Wherever you preach prosperity among the poor, you always find big problem. If one is rich and is being proud of his richness, or he got his money in any way among the poor, you see criminals alone trying to use all means to get to the same level that he has put himself into. So this is the big problem we are facing in Nigeria. People don't understand that our problem is this religious believer who are always proud of their money, rich all over. That is my contribution, is just for people to understand that our problem depends on this religious believer causing problem in our society. They are the problem.
Thank you, sir.
Just what I want you to let you know. So
I appreciate it.
I said that you should not speak about it. Or when I learn all everywhere, I learn all I don't hear the award. When I learn all when you sign with I don't hear the award.
Absolutely.
That is the matter. That is the matter. No one should run about this issue or should say it doesn't concern you. It doesn't concern you. It concerns everyone.
Absolutely.
That is where we are.
Exactly.
So thank you, my brother.
God bless you, sir. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you, sir. Bye. So everybody's got opinion about this matter. There's no doubt. Some people are for, some are against it. Expect members of his own church and some Christian members to, it's just that we have a lot of people in the church who have been so taken over by the doctrines they hear that they are no longer able to balance reasoning with the kind of messages they hear and all of that. Unfortunately, they don't understand that many of us are Christians, okay, but we are able to understand, some of us are able to understand the mind of God concerning many things that that happen around us. So we know we are not all dumb. We're not a preach. I did very sure. See, if I am the type that say, okay, I am a preacher of the word of God, I am a pastor, I am a this, I am that, and all of that, I may even do better than many of them who are out there saying that they are pastors. I may even do better than a lot of them. And there are so many people out there too who will do a lot better. But people have their callings in different areas. You understand what I'm saying now? People can make contributions to different areas. Everybody must not stand on the pulpit and all of that. So but for those who are privileged to stand on the pulpit and all of that, if they are genuine, their efforts should better be channeled. And that's the point we are making. For those who have not been here, who have not heard, this is what we've been discussing. And I'm ending it on this note. The message of Suleman that came up, and it's been making the round, it's been making a lot of, and I'm dissatisfied with it, and that's why I'm talking about it. Not in the context of discussing whether Suleman is a real man of God or not, but in the context of the words that came from his mouth. Just take a listen.
COVID, I bought a jet. in COVID. The third, I have three. The third one, in COVID. I was praying for COVID not to end because I was resting. Why people were complaining, my wife asked me, say, can life be this sweet? Am I talking to somebody here? No stress. I read on the net, was it yesterday? Somebody sent it to me. There's a rumor going around that I have a machine that prints money. I like that rumor. Say it should be investigated. He has a machine that prints money. I said, they say, somebody says, is it true? I said, it's true. It's risky. I said, I didn't know it's risky. I already bought the machine. When you speak in tongues, you are printing money.
Anyhow, we won't dwell on that much. But the statement is misguided, it's misdirected, it's uncalled for, it's unnecessary, and it's a slight on the face of all that we are passing through currently. And I think Suleman should apologize for what he said. I think so. He should apologize to Edo people and Nigerians, and it should better be guided going forward. So my people, I will move from that quickly. We are not going to dwell on Suleman all day. There's something happening in Edo State. My brother, Comrade Orukbe, actually went to capture the scene. And I'm going to talk about it. There's no way we're going to, leave that matter. But it all boils down to us contributing towards making our state better. But I'm going to play an excerpt of it. But before I play this excerpt, I have this this small, message, advert, if you want to call it, but it's something happening that's going to be good for all of us, Nigerians, Edo people. Just take a listen, and probably we'll talk about it a bit. Just take a listen. Kioja.com promises to be Africa's largest online market. It's just going to be like what's it called, Amazon and something like that. But in this case, it is going to be peculiar. It's going to be selling made in Nigerian products. So they are going to be launching this platform on the 4th of March. If you are a business owner, you deal on made in Nigerian products and all of that, you want your product to go international, go global, go and enlist. Just go to ekioja.com. You follow up all the steps there, enlist, so that they start showcasing your own products across the world. All made in Nigerian products. It is time for us to begin to push our own products beyond the boundaries of Nigeria and make some things become international brands. Ekioja is going to offer that opportunity. Please, I want to play this advertorial again so we can take a listen, watch, and of course take notes. Don't forget, it's ekioja.com. Then we now zero down to the message of Comrade Orukbe. So my people, please take note. It's ekioja.com. Okay, let's move on down now. I saw this video. It was actually done by Comrade Urukbe, and I want to thank him for his efforts. Of course, the things he talked about here, I am very concerned about them, because at the end of the day, it shows again we've been talking about the kind of moral decadence in our society. It speaks largely to it and all that is happening here. And I'm going to talk about it in very different light. I want to take a listen. I'm going to play this video. Well, just some part of it, and we go from there. Just watch.
All right, we totally condemn this act. The Traders Welfare Union of Nigeria totally condemn this act. You cannot use the pavement being built by taxpayers' money to begin to put refuse. I'm doing this report to Ministry of Environment or whosoever that is collecting revenue in New Benin Market to pack refuse. These are part of your responsibility. And any trader or resident, people that are resident in this environment, doing this to Edo State, want to totally condemn this. This pavement is being built by taxpayers' money. Having used refuse to do flower now on top of the pavement. This is a serious embarrassment to the state. Whosoever that is doing this, I can describe them as the enemy of the state. I do not belong to any political party. I do not belong to APC. I do not belong to PDP. I belong to good governance. The good work that is going on in the state. Having seen the good work, and you decided to use refuse to do flower on top of pavement in Upper Mission here by New Benin Market, I think the Ministry of Environment should take note of this report, and they should put people on ground here. The Ministry of Environment, this is not the time to sit down inside the office. The Ministry of Environment need to mobilize some of their staff.
Anyway, that's Comrade Urukbe. He went to actually capture this particular message, and when I saw it, I was really like, it's the problem we have in our society increasingly is like, I don't know, the more people try to make effort to say, let us address this, address that, the more the more you try to do one thing or the other, you see mountains of problem here and there. That's somehow we don't really know where to. Some of us don't even know exactly, how to tackle this matter in a way that everybody will be on the same page. This refuse. It's unacceptable, to be honest. But when I was pondering over this, when I watched this footage and I was planning to do this broadcast on it, I was pondering over it. Something occurred to me, and I'm going to be speaking to this. That's why I say I'm going to be doing this talk in a multifaceted manner. And that thing is that I believe very strongly that the full potential of what can come out of this, we have not explored it. Okay, refuse picking can become a very huge business in Edo State. I think that there is the need for Edo people to come together. Please, if you are listening to me and you are interested in this, okay, I would like to have a chat with I want to get 10 persons who are interested. We'll also create a business forum where we bring people. Let us see how we can invest into this area. Let us find ways and research and find how we can have, what's it called, a refuse processing plant. You understand what I'm saying now? Or how you call it, a recycling plant, as it were, or things like that. I mean, there are the ones in large scale, medium scale, and small scale, and all that. I think we need to. Some of us need to come together and think about this. right in Europe, you know, and all of that, people say, you know, what's it called? There are so many things you buy to control refuse in the house. There are polythene bags for refuse that people produce for houses so that people can be dropping their refuse and be putting them at a designated place so that eventually vehicles can come and pick them to the location where they can be recycled. You understand what I'm saying now? And organic materials separated from other materials and all of that. I think we need a viable industry like that in Edo State. Now, that is not excusing the irresponsibilities of our own people. You understand what I'm saying now? In the way we deal with refuse, in the way we deal with garbage. You understand? We are very irresponsible, but I'm not going to blame us. I think that the apparatus of state need to be at work to provide enough enlightenment, create room for investment to come into this department in a way that employment will be created, our refuse collection will be better managed, and of course our state will be better for it. So I'm not going to dwell too much, but I want to say, for people who are doing this, for this video I just you know, this footage I just showed just now, for people who are doing that, it is not the right thing in any way, shape, or form.
They
it is not the right thing. It is not the right thing in any way.
On this
pavement, people need to desist from it.
To psychiatric
From
hospital
this
to go
kind
and
of
test
attitude,
if that person
people need to desist from
is
it.
better balanced.
And we need, but if they desist
What
from
we
it,
are saying here is
okay,
that it can happen in the
people
Western
will drop
world.
their refuse somewhere.
Why are we using?
This is the area where I think that we can come together. I can try to governance that. We can come together and find ways of liaising with government to create that enabling environment where we can have a properly managed system where we manage our refuse, manage our business, manage our garbage. So please, if you are interested, reach out to us. Let us put that matter in motion, and let us see how we can all come together and see as many of us as possible and see how we can invest into it. If you know something about this refuse management and all those things, please reach out to us. Give us a blueprint on how we can do this. But I really would like to set up a committee to look into this. And we can raise a proposal and send to government on how we'd like to do it. I want to be involved in it. Because at the end of the day, where cleanliness is next to godliness. If people begin to develop the habit of being clean, probably a godly heart will accompany. And probably we'll have less of kidnapping, less of armed robbery, less of social vices in the state. That's why I said a problem in Nigeria where those states is holistic. You cannot treat it from one particular angle. It's got to be treated from every angle. This is not good for the state. It is happening now at New Benin. Okay, it's probably happening everywhere all across. So I will stay on this matter, you know, in the coming days. And hopefully, by the grace of God, we'll find ways around it and see how we can deal with it to make our state a better place for all of us. Having said that, on the last note, I want to inform us that by the grace of God, the Edo State street lighting project is still ongoing today. My guys, the comrade show volunteers and the engineers, they were on site today to go and do some job and all that. They actually went to install about five units of street lights. That's the one I just showed you right now. You can see it on the, you know, these are units of the street that they went to install. And I'm just playing some excerpts of the project. These lights were donated by John Bull, Aitamegbe, you know, and you know, those are the guys right there up, you know, doing the installation.
Yes, this is
so the
installation of the solar power street light at Aitamegbe. The engineers are doing what they know how to do best, installing the solar power street lights in a very technical format. As you can see, we are having two-sided street light being mounted here by the engineer. We want to thank the Comrade Show and the light engineer, Mr. Jumbo Aitamegbe, for providing this for the streets so that darkness in the area will become a thing of the past. We are also using this opportunity to call upon well-meaning those citizens across the globe to key into this lighting project that is ongoing in Edo North, in Edo Central, in Edo South, so that when you are... Yeah, this is the voice of Comrade Ameyedi Omoroge of the Comrade Show, and we are here at Atamegbe Street of Aduawa, Benin City, Edo State, Nigeria. And we are here with Mr. Jumbo Atamegbe, the Odionwe of Atamegbe Street. He has something to tell us.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Lante Comrade Show. I'm so glad, I'm happy over the light you light up Edo State. Now I have interest over this light, then I have to provide 5 lights in my street. And now today they are installing it. So the darkness in my street today will be thing of the past. So I'm so grateful for your work and effort you put in to light Edo State. We are so happy here. Thank you.
So anyhow, Edo people, the prayer is ongoing. By the grace of God, we are doing what we have to do. And I want to use this medium to say, please, if you're out there, you want to key into this project, don't hesitate, call on us. Give us a ring on our number, or write us on WhatsApp. Or you can actually just go to the comradeshow.com. You find information there when you go to the Comrade courses and all of that. So the whole idea, like I said, these are solar powered lights. By the grace of God, these lights come up automatically at night, wherever they are actually located and all of that. The one good thing about these lights is that when you donate a light to this project, you become a light angel yourself. And when you become a light angel, what we do is we inscribe your name on the light that you have donated, and we are able to let you know where your light is. Okay, we tell you the streets where your light is. The program started out with us identifying areas across Edo State, and we decided to light some of these areas that we identify as hotspots. We determine the number of lights, and people who donate these lights, the light angels, many of them, numerous, so many of them, too, and all of that. So, but in the course of the program, people started donating lights to their own streets. They want to put 5 lights on their street, 10. They want to light up the entire street. So we started equally doing that, because all of them is all, geared towards making it move forward and all that. So it's ongoing. I think the whole idea is that we want to see the possibility within the next 1, 2, 3 years, if it's possible. Let us see how transformed Edo will be based on this effort. Of course, government has a huge plan to light up a large expanse of Edo State, but we are looking at those areas that may not easily have and immediately have government attention. You understand? We are providing these lights in those areas. So at the end of the day, we want to see a state, by the grace of God, that even in the face of insecurity, let us be able to beat our chest and say, yes, Edo is well lit. Edo is better lighted in a way that, criminality can be chased, away, a little, and all of that. So this is why this program is there. And we are hoping that you, who is watching right now, will be able to key in. The project and this program is not for Edo people in the diaspora alone. It's for both Edos in the diaspora and at home. And all that. The more lights we get, the better opportunity we have, to making a difference across. We have been to so many. In fact, we started on December 24th last year, and as of now, by the grace of God, we're already chasing 200 lights that we have installed all across different parts of Edo State. You understand what I'm saying now? And but kudos to the Edo Light Angels. You understand? This is a Nogi Street, for instance, where we installed about 26 lights. Everywhere is transformed right now. This is somewhere around the Yekogba where we installed about 18 lights. Everybody's happy. We have equally been to Igwebe. This is Igwebe. I still have this footage from Igwebe and all of that. You understand? And in different parts. This is Anigboro, for instance. Anigboro in Uselu. And we are happy. This Anigboro. Anigboro is greatly transformed right now. Everybody's happy and all that. So, but kudos to all the light angels we have, and all the people behind the scene who are helping to make this program go on. So, my people, a light is 45,000 naira. You are interested, you want to be a light angel. Of course, I'm not talking to everybody. I'm talking to those who believe they can be part of this project, who want to be part of it. And please don't hesitate. Let's key into it. We have villages. People have come in, they want to light up their villages, from Ekiadolo to Uromi to Uronigbe, different places and all of that. So, you know, when you come, in fact, even recently to what's it called, Ugbo Gyobo. We want to take this thing down to all these areas. I think the whole idea is to be able to, you know, make this little contribution that will further make some difference to our society, to our communities, and all that. The platform, it is a commercial platform that we are using, okay, but we are collaborating with every light donor. If you donate a light to us, you become a light angel, okay? Your name is inscribed on the light, you know, just like this. I often show this. For instance, we have Omori Ajibola here. This is the commercial project, you know, donated by Omori Ajibola. That's the way it is. That's what you find here. Okay, your name is inscribed on the light. This is the way we give you our own, you know, account of stewardship, as it were. You understand? This is the way we account to you, and that is why we are home and dry as far as this matter is concerned. You understand what I'm saying? And so, Edo people, you know, even if you're not from Edo State, you want to support the growth or development of Edo State, of course, you can be part of this. Donate a light generously to us, and let us continue with the project, so that at the end of the day, we shall look back at some point and be proud that yes, we have been able to contribute towards some meaningful change as far as Edo State is concerned. There are so many people in Edo State who are even do better than those abroad. So this program is not exclusive to those abroad. You understand what I'm saying? You are there, you are a politician. You are there, you are a religious leader. You are a businessman, you are a business owner. Please, you know, find space within your own. There are people, I was in Nigeria, you know, 2 years ago. I mean, there are people who come to club, you know, they million around, they go our liver, you know, and all of that. Let us make some part of this and contribute towards development. Even if it's just to light up your own streets, call us. We'll help you realize that, so that everybody can be happy. And let it be that people are happy on the account of your own sacrifice that you made with your substance, which is your money. So my people, that is all I'm going to say about this matter. I want to say thank you very much. If you want to locate us, you can write us, leave a message on the comment section, or write us in our inbox, you understand, or call us outrightly. Our number is there, you understand what I'm saying, and of course, and when you're able to make any donation, send the receipt to us so that we can update our own accounts, fix a date for when your light is going to be installed, and that's it. We are good to go. We have our volunteers. By the grace of God, we make the agreement with them. They are always ready, just like they've been to this place right now, this Atamigbe Street at Duwawa, the place I just showed you, where they have been today. I couldn't join in because I had some medical emergencies I needed to attend to, as it were, and all that. So just so you look at it, at the end of the day, it's all part of moving Edo State forward, and of course, being our brother's keeper in very many ways and many respects. So on that note, my people, this is where we are going to like to draw this curtain, and to say a very big thank you to everybody who's been part of this project, this program. Please do not hesitate to share. Do not hesitate to, of course, follow the Comrade Show, whether on Facebook or on YouTube. Subscribe. The reason why we're asking you to do so is because we want you to be part of our own, what's it called, our own programs. You know, we have a series of programs that we'll bring on this program, as it were, you know, and that's it. So on that note, I want to say a very big thank you to you all. But I'm going to leave you. This is the second I'm going to be playing this. I'm going to leave you with, of course, the commentary, the poetry of this sister of ours. And I think it's very apt. It's necessary for us to be our brother's keeper, for us to show love to one another in all ways, for us to have, you know, a better nation, a better future, a better Edo State. On that note, my people, I want to say, may God bless you for joining us. May God bless Edo State and the people of Edo State. May God bless the governor of Edo State. May God uplift Edo State on our collective account. And of course, may God bless Nigeria and Nigerians. Enjoy this clip. And from there, have a good night.
This poem is beyond all relationships, but made for us all. And let's all turn it over in our hearts. When I'm dead, your tears will flow, but I won't know. Cry with me now instead. You will send flowers, but I won't see. Send them now instead. You will say words of praise, but I won't hear. Praise me now instead. You will forget my faults, but I won't know. Forget them now instead. You'll miss me then, but I won't feel. Miss me now instead. You'll wish you could have spent more time with me. Spend it now instead. When you hear I'm gone, you'll find your way to my house to pay condolence. But we haven't even spoken in years. Please, look for me now. Spend time with every person around you and help them with whatever you have to make them happy. Your families, your friends, your acquaintance. Make them feel special because you never know when time will take them away from you forever. Love all and forgive all. No matter how many times the teeth bite the tongue, they still stay together in one mouth. And that is the spirit of forgiveness. Even though the eyes don't see each other, they see things together. They blink simultaneously and they cry together. That is the spirit of unity. May we practice the spirit of forgiveness and togetherness. Alone I can say, but together we can talk. Alone I can enjoy, but together we can celebrate. Alone I can smile, but together we can laugh. That is the beauty of human relations. We are nothing without each other. Please stay connected. Destiny ahead will take care. Everyone is important according to his or her own unique purpose. Never look down on anybody.
Show with Comrade Lante Oriake, live on Facebook and YouTube. Like us, follow us, and be the first to know. This